everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 things to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner. So if you have a great product that you think would be perfect for retail chains such as Walmart or Best Buy, Home Depot, Kroger grocery store, or whatever it is for you, and you're new to selling to retail chains and you're kind of excited about the possibility of getting to stores but you'd like more info, this is just some 5 things to consider when approaching them. And again, there's so many things I can say about approaching retail chains, but just wanted to give you some quick tips and strategies. So let's talk about the 5 things to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner. The first thing is they are interested and they want new products. And that sounds obvious, but truly, even if the economy is saying that, retailers are going under, or even if the economy is saying that people aren't buying anymore, that doesn't necessarily equate to retail, because retailers are actually going to always continue to buy new products because they only have X number of square footages they're accountable for in their stores. They can't have empty shelves. That means less money for them, so they're always looking for new products. It will consistently be that way no matter what. Some of you are thinking retail chains is not a good strategy because retailers are going to go away. It's not happening anytime soon, and trust me, they're always looking for new products, even when the economy is saying otherwise. So something to consider. The next thing to consider is they want that next new product. So you have to understand retail chains, they actually have to look at every new product that approaches them because their customers want that next new product. So they can't mess around. They know that if they don't pay attention to your product and your product goes somewhere else, that their competitors will make money. So today more than ever, their customers are looking for that next new product. They're hungry for new products. So please don't assume that just because you're a small company or a startup or you haven't had that many sales that you shouldn't approach retail chains, because they actually really, really, really want to know about you. I have many friends who are buyers. I do live events where the buyers come to my events and we partner together and so forth. Trust me, I know buyers well. And they always say that they have an insatiable need for new product. And even if they're a small company, it doesn't matter to them now. What matters to them is they get that next cool product into stores. So that's really exciting for you. The next thing is that they are really, truly looking for big partnerships. And what does that mean? They want the people who will stick with them for a while. They don't want to take your product and then knock it off or something like that. Some people have a lot of concern about that, but really, honestly, they're really looking for people who are going to manage, these products, and that the product's going to be successful. So at the end of the day, what they're looking for is partnership, people who are going to bring products to them, and then also think 5 steps ahead when they're talking to the buyer. So for instance, they're going to want you to consider, have you thought about marketing strategies to help make sure that the product sells once it's in stores? They would love to know about that because that makes them believe that you're going to be a long-term partner. Some people try to sell to retail chains and they don't mention anything about helping them as a partner, that they don't mention anything about they're going to maybe do some Facebook ads or drive some sales to the stores or get epic reviews or whatever. They're not supporting their retailer, and the retailer maybe doesn't trust that you're going to help them and so forth. But if you say these things, you're much more of a partner, and that's what they want. Also, new products, right? So they love to hear that maybe they'll buy this product now, but here are some future product options. That's fantastic. Now, if you don't have any product options for the future, you can always tell them about ideas that you have, because what they want is to keep buying from you and keep building that long-term relationship with you. Now, it takes a while to get into a retail chain, but once you get in, and if your product's successful, the money starts coming in, not only from that existing product, but new products you come in and so forth. I have many clients who've made millions of dollars, and simply it started with one retailer saying yes, then they brought in new products, they build relationships, all sorts of fun there. And so you can do very well with retail chains. The next thing to consider is that if your product converts, they will be your best friend. So what does that mean? Well, they have day jobs, these buyers, right? They have bosses. And so it's one thing to bring a product in that the buyer chooses and that it's successful, but it's another thing if your product does phenomenally well, because that makes the buyer look good at work. They love you. They only care about making money in their stores. So if you bring them products that are going to sell, you are going to be their best friend. And trust me, they will buy anything that you want. And they'll listen to anything that you want. You can start bringing in products that you never thought about bringing in before. If you have that relationship with the buyer, if they really believe that you bring them money, they will love you forever. And that's something to consider. And the final thing to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner is they can't stand it when you approach them if you are calling them from overseas. So if you're not in the United States and you're calling them and trying to sell your product to them, like if you are in Australia or UK or wherever and you're calling the buyer or you're assuming that the buyer is going to respond to you, that's usually not the case. The buyers don't really like any headaches. They don't want to deal with long distance. It's very annoying to them. So they typically hate that. So you either, if you're living overseas, you want to approach them in a way that works effectively. Now, there's a whole strategy for people who are international, who are trying to break into the US retail market. For those of you who are interested in that, there's all sorts of ways to sell into retail chains, but you can't really call a buyer, you know, from Australia and assume that they're going to be happy with you because of the time difference and all sorts of things. And so there are strategies. You can absolutely get your products in the stores, but calling a buyer that way is very annoying for them. So they appreciate if you live in the US or that you have somebody in the US who can answer questions and so forth, or follow a different strategy, reach out to retailers if you're overseas, because there's many ways to sell to retailers that way, but it is very different than calling them directly that way. So you want to learn those strategies. Anyways, if you want to learn exactly how to approach, pitch, and sell to retail chains, I'm talking learning about how to actually call the buyer, what to say to them to get them to buy, how to finesse the words to make sure that your product converts, and then what's going to happen once you get a purchase order, and actually how to make sure that that product flies off shelves once it's in stores to ensure long-term success. And you basically want to get your product reviewed by retail chains. You want to check out my Retail MBA Live event. We do events almost quarterly, and you can take a look about this event. We actually have the link listed below. The website is retailmbalive.com. So it's a live event called Retail MBA Live, and we do these events quarterly, and essentially we spend one day, hardcore day, going through exactly all your money strategies, how to prepare your product for chain stores. We deal with packaging, pricing, all the way through to helping you create your own marketing collateral, and then actually how to pitch the buyers, and then all the magical things you need to know about marketing and additional strategies that makes my customers millions and millions of dollars. And we also partner up with retailers for these events. So you definitely want to go to the next one, because you can actually get your products in stores and so forth. And many of my clients have already done that. So I highly recommend taking a look at the link below at retailmbalive.com, and or please look out for the additional videos that I create on selling to retail chains. Thanks so much.